Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, and Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now this lesson is going to be based on this severe storm threat increases across southern plains as weekend storms target 55 million with large hail and tornadoes. So basically what I've been saying, that these storms and tempests from the Lord were going to increase, were going to happen more frequently. And clearly that's what's happening, all through the Spirit. So I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says more than 55 million people are in the threat zone for a dangerous weekend severe storm threat across the south and central U.S. with the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and strong tornadoes. After a monster EF4 tornado hit Enid, Oklahoma Thursday, parts of the state are once again in the bullseye of today's severe weather. NOAA's Storm Prediction Center has issued a level 4 out of 5 risk of severe thunderstorms over southeastern Oklahoma due to increasing confidence in baseball-sized hail and strong tornadoes developing this afternoon. A broader level 2 threat stretches from Kansas to parts of North Texas and the Ark-La-Tex region. Meanwhile, tornado warnings were ongoing early Saturday across parts of Louisiana, energy left over from Friday's storms. Severe weather even reached the Midwest Friday, including Indianapolis, where social media video showed tornado sirens blaring during a severe thunderstorm warning Friday. Police said wind gusts were strong enough to knock down several trees onto local roads. A 59-mile-per-hour wind gust was clocked at Indianapolis International Airport Friday evening. According to the Fox Forecast Center, a deepening low will move across the Texas Panhandle throughout today, and a dry line will extend southward from it into the central and western parts of the state. To the north, a warm front is expected to push northward across Oklahoma and northern Texas. Strong instability along and east of the dry line, as well as near and south of the warm front, will be the areas to watch for storm development. The greatest potential for strong tornadoes will be along and just south of the warm front from Oklahoma City into southeast Oklahoma. Hail greater than 3 inches is also expected over portions of southeast Oklahoma and northern Texas. So these storms could develop into supercells later in the night, posing a risk of very large hail and damaging winds. So as the severe weather threat continues overnight and into Sunday morning, another area of low pressure is expected to move out of the Rockies and back into the plains. A level 3 of 5 severe storm threat extends from central Kansas to western Missouri for Sunday, with a broader level 2 of 5 severe threat extending from southern Nebraska to northern Texas. As the system intensifies, moist air and increased instability will be directed towards a warm front extending into Missouri and Arkansas. As the severe storm threat develops, isolated to scattered supercells could develop along the dry line extending into South Texas by Sunday afternoon. By the evening and into the overnight hours, storm development could expand with an increasing potential for strong tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Yeah, so, through the spirit, like I've been saying, as we start getting into these warmer months, the threat of severe storms will increase. Torrential rain, lightning, thunder, hail, tornadoes. And that's exactly what looks to be happening. 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And just these severe storms alone create a lot of danger. These powerful winds that can knock over trees, cause power outages, tear the roofing off of homes and buildings. You have the torrential rain that could cause flooding. You have the hail that can damage homes, damage people's cars. And if the hailstones are big enough, it could even hurt or kill somebody. And then one of the most severe threats is the tornadoes. And in the article, it did say that there was an EF4 that touched down in Oklahoma. That's a pretty serious tornado. And seeing as we are in the last days, tornadoes of that strength are exactly what at least those of us of the hopeful elect should be expecting to see more of, because we understand that as we get closer and closer to the finale of this place, all of these different judgments are going to be intensified. The tornadoes, the hurricanes, the earthquakes, the fires, the violence amongst the people. And if you've noticed, when these major tornadoes and storms hit, all the destruction and damage that's caused, people don't have the money to rebuild. And if they take out a loan so that they can rebuild their house, they just end up in a severe amount of debt because they can't pay that back. So this is yet another indication that the Lord, he does not want this place to be rebuilt. Like all the destruction that's being caused throughout this country, it's not going to get fixed. And it's just further proof of America's decline. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And the Lord has been visiting the Midwest and the South of the U.S. with a lot of storms and tempests, a lot of tornadoes, a lot of hail, and a lot of rain. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And the Lord has been sending these destroying storms. These damaging winds, like I said, that can cause power outages, knock over trees, tear the roof off of a home or a building. The torrential rains that can result in flooding, and then people end up having to be rescued. The hailstorms, the tornadoes. The Lord is really not messing around in these last days. Psalms 11 and 6. Salakia. Psalms 11 and 6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it's a violent, windy storm. And tornadoes fall into that category. And lately we've been seeing in the Midwest and in the South, EF0 to EF4 tornadoes spawning and sweeping through certain areas, causing all kinds of destruction. And this is why myself and the other brothers are constantly saying there is no getting around these scriptures. Because the scriptures talk about storms and tempests. And then that's what we're seeing take place. A lot of storms and tempests. So for all these simple-minded, wicked people out here that want to say that the scriptures are not real, that they're a fairy tale book, it's all make-believe, clearly the Lord is not dealing with those people. Because you can't read these scriptures. If the Lord has blessed you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you can't read these scriptures and then take a look at what's going on in the world and not see the connection. The things that are written in these scriptures are basically foretelling what was going to be happening here in the last days. And that's what we're witnessing. Psalms 83 and 14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And clearly that's what's happening. That's why they constantly have to do drills, storm drills in the Midwest and in the South. People are constantly running to the store and stocking up on food and water because we have officially entered storm season. And there's going to be a lot more storms, not just here in America, of course, but all over the world. Lots of rain, lots of lightning and thunder and hail, and in some places, tornadoes. And maybe around June or July, there might even be some hurricanes as well. But there is no getting around the fact that we are living in the last days and that all the judgments of the Lord are intensifying, becoming more destructive, more deadly, and they're definitely happening more frequently. And the men of the Lord, through the Spirit, are going to continue to prophesy about these things. Because the people need to continue to be warned until the Lord removes the men of the Lord from off the highways and hedges and shuts down the internet. Luke 21 and 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. And these destructive and potentially deadly storms and tempests are just one of many things that those of us of the hopeful elect should be praying and hoping that the Lord accounts us worthy to escape. Because best believe these storms are going to get more intense and they're going to get more destructive and deadly. But as long as the Lord has his hedge of protection over you, you don't have to worry about getting caught up in these things. The Lord is going to continue to guide you and deliver you and protect you. But as for these wicked people, they're the ones who are in the target sights of the Lord. They're the ones who should, be panicking because there is no hedge of protection for them. Like it says in Hebrews 10:31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And these wicked people are going to continue to experience that fearfulness that comes with falling into the hands of the Lord. And there's nobody that can save them. There's nobody that can deliver them out of the hand of the Lord. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash. The Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters. And shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and now look like these heathens. I hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.